class is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
All right, guys, I want to welcome you back to another KevCAM night class tonight. I want to thank you for your time and spending it with the class here. Got Brendan McKenna helping us out tonight with all the questions, and you know, if you guys type in questions, Brendan will be there to help answer any questions that come up. Tonight we're doing something just a little bit different. What we're doing is kind of a user choice. So you guys tell me what you want to see, and I'll pull it up on my screen as best as I can, kind of do the stump the chump. You guys just tell me what you guys want to see, or if there's something that you're struggling on that will, you know, get you all fixed up and answer the questions that we can for you guys. And just kind of heads up for those of you guys are new to the webinar, what we are doing is everybody is in listen-only mode. Listen-only mode. And that's just to eliminate background noise. So over on your GoToWebinar panel, there's a pane where it says Ask Questions. Right in there, that's where you guys can tell me what you guys want to see, or if there's something that you guys want to cover or go over that you would like to see, or some refresher stuff that we've done in some past class that you guys would like to see again, or a different version of that. But like I said, it's totally up to you guys tonight, and you guys just tell me what you guys want to see, and we'll cover it. So with that being said, we'll kind of get the ball rolling here. Just want to show you guys the, submit a topic to us and enter to win a free t-shirt and hat. So that definitely, if you guys have any ideas at all, shoot me an email. And for those of you guys who don't have my email, what I'll do is I'm going to put it in the chat right now.
I was going to say, Kevin, while you're doing that, that's a pretty nifty SolidCAM pad. I'm not even sure if I've got one of those.
No, they don't allow us to have them. Give them all to the good, all the good stuff to the customers.
Exactly.
All right, guys, I just put my email address into the GoToMeeting chat. And also, you know, if you guys are new to this and you haven't seen it before, we do have all these classes are recorded and are up on the SolidCAM University channel. I've added quite a few more stuff just this week. I think I added about 8 more videos. Some really short ones, some, you know, just kind of going over like the, this one right here, we're kind of going over the Haas ST20Y machine sim. Just kind of showing you guys how it works. I know because there was a couple of questions from you guys asking about the machine sim. So definitely come over to the SolidCAM University channel and subscribe. Or you guys can just type in KevCAM and it should pull up too. So I think we're up to, I don't know, see all the videos here. Here's all the videos that we kind of gone through, and a lot of them are the KevCAM ones. I did one specialty for shape tools and custom tools. So I know that's a big one that everybody's always asking about, something that you guys don't use very often. So made a video solely dedicated to it. So you guys walk you through step by step on how to create that shape tool. So, but
cool.
Want to make sure, can everybody see my screen?
I can certainly see it. Maybe.
Yep.
Looks like everybody else is kind of saying, perfect. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So everybody that's writing yes, think of something that you guys want to see, or any questions that you guys have, or it's kind of your guys' night to tell me what you guys want to see. So definitely let me know what you guys want to see, and I mean, we can pull up parts, and I'll try to find parts that match exactly what you're trying to do there. So unless Brendan, you got something that you would like to see.
Well, you know, it's really interesting. I was almost just saying that same thing. You know, talking to the customers that I have, you know, there are always different things where, you know, people want to see, like, you know, how a certain application works or things like that, like, you know, like how HSS works and, you know, that sort of stuff. But it looks like we actually have one here, short shape tool presentation.
Yeah, we can do a quick walkthrough of, let me kill my Skype here, how to create a shape tool. So great question, Sammy, and I'll go through it live with you guys, and that way you guys can tell me if you have any questions along the way. So shape tools is basically your custom tools, and you guys can have a SolidCAM project open, or you can have it closed. We can do either or. So come up here, just go to your SolidCAM and come down to your tool library, and we are going to do shape tools. So you guys have, you guys can have different folders in here, and inside that folder you can have your tool. So, you know, we can add a new group, and we'll just call it Kev, if I can spell my name, KevCAM. And we can, yeah, we can add a shape. So now you guys can, like I said, right click, just do add shape. And, you know, if you guys want, you can rename this to, you know, custom tool, or we can just say, you know, tool, you know, whatever you guys want. Now, over on the right-hand side, we have all these kind of built ones right here. So if you guys are wanting to do a radius tool, we have it already set up for you guys here. So, and you build the tool basically from the bottom up. So for a radius tool, we can just click on the radius right there, and we can put our parameters in there. So, you know, if we want to do, you know, 1/8 inch radius, bottom diameter is, let's say, 0.25. The top diameter will automatically fill out for us. So then we have our basic shape going on right now. Now we just need to add a shank to that. So we can just click on the shank feature. And now we have a 1/2 inch diameter shank. The height of it is 2 inches. You know, if we need to make this 4 inches to get into the tool holder. So we got our shape there. So we're halfway there. So as soon as we hit OK, that shape tool has stayed in there forever. So now let me just open up a project, because it'll show it a little bit better. And I'll actually show, let's see, let's go to here, and we'll go to my recents. And, oh man, I updated to a new version here. I had a part drawn up that was perfect for this one. Shape tool. Of course, I deleted it.
Well, you know, Kevin, I mean,
easy now.
Know, every time we ask you to be perfect, you know, you can't be perfect. Come on. You're letting me down, man.
I know. Okay, we'll get a part pulled up here, and let's say next. Okay, so now that you have your part open, what you can do is, if you wanted to use that part, you can come over and open up your tool. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new tool. And when you guys do shape tools, you always want to call them an end mill. Always, no matter what. Definitely call it an end mill. Even if it looks nothing like an end mill, just call it an end mill. Now, the only thing that we really care about is our arbor, or our cutting diameter, and then the cutting length. So my minor cutting diameter of that chamfer tool was 0.25. Now if I go to the shape here, I can scroll down and click on my KevCAM tool. And let me just pull this over here and make this much larger. Okay, so you can see that we have our tool there. Now you guys will notice everything is yellow, and basically meaning that everything is a cutting flute. Well, that's not true. We don't have 4.125 of cutting flutes. We only have 0.25 of cutting flutes. So right there is our cutting flutes for our radius using a 1/8 radius. We have a 0.25 tip diameter and a 0.5 upper diameter. And then you guys can just use this as, just do a profile operation and grab that tool. So does that answer your question, Sam?
You know what? Yeah, I just got some feedback, Kevin. Sam was really appreciative of that. Seems like it was very helpful. So,
okay, perfect.
Looks like everything looks good here. Kevin, the next one in order of asking of the questions looks like 4th axis work offsets or horizontal tombstone work offsets.
Okay.
Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yep. Let's pull up a tombstone part here. And I'm going to apologize right now, guys. I'm going to be scrambling around to try to find parts that have these already done for you guys. So let me go to here.
Well, you know, and you know what, Kevin, you know what's really kind of cool about this particular format is the fact that, you know, this is really real, you know, real world format. You know, this is how people work. I mean, you know, a job comes in, and you know, you have to kind of, you know, look for the files and look for the fixtures and
Yep.
you know, things like that. So I mean, this really is kind of real world here. So
Absolutely.
you know, I think people can relate to, you know, to what you're doing for sure.
And I just have to reroute my. Let's go to browse, and we're going to SolidCAM GPP. Okay, let's pull up that tubestone now.
And maybe, maybe Kevin, I can just say real quick while you're pulling that file up, you know, just to let everybody know, you know, Kevin always talks about the Refer a Friend program that we have, which is, you know, it's kind of a nice little program. We, you know, basically if you refer somebody to SolidCAM and it results in a purchase, then you know, we send you a nice fat check. So it's pretty lucrative, and you know, just along those lines, you may, if you are talking to a buddy of yours somewhere, you know, down the road here, through the end of August, we actually have a promotion as a pre-IMTS promotion. We're doing 25% off new seats, brand new seats of SolidCAM. So you know, that could be a pretty lucrative deal for somebody who may be in the market for some CAM software. So
are those
just
upgrades
wanted to
too,
throw that out there. It's new seats, Kevin.
Okay.
So yeah, it's brand new systems. So you know, unfortunately, it doesn't apply to upgrades, but we're always willing to work with people who do have our system already, and most of those people are the ones that are attending this. So which is very cool. And but yeah, if there's something that somebody sees here, and they decide they want to upgrade, or maybe you know, maybe move to you know, a more advanced software system, you know, of course, you know, we'll be completely willing to work with people on pricing and things like that. So you know, that's not a problem at all.
Very nice. All right, who was asking the tubestone question? See.
That was actually John Zitzkis.
Okay, so John, you'll have to, I got a tubestone part here, and I'll kind of go through some of the tubestone milling right now, and please let me know if I didn't cover what you're asking. I think you're just asking for work offsets on a fourth axis. So basically, here's a tubestone part. What I've done is I've set up, and this is kind of using our new transform feature for fourth axis. So basically what I did is I just programmed the one part right here, and I did a transform, a Mac-to-Mac transformation. Now I know we're going to be covering the transformations in the upcoming classes, so we'll go over this again, but you'll see right here, when I actually go to machine this, it comes over here, machines it, you know, moves over, machines it here, rotates around, machines over here, and rotates around all the way right here. Now, depending on how your post-processor is set up, John, you know, basically, let me just hide that, and let's open up my ChordSys manager for you. And you'll see all my different coordinate systems on there. Now, the rule of thumb with when you're using a ChordSys is you use Macs for different basically G55, 56, 57 for different fixture kind of stuff. Now you use different positions within that fixture if it's fourth axis. So you'll see if I zoom in here, we have 1-1, we got 3-1. These I actually did all in separate. They're all separate Macs just to go to work with the, sorry, I'm getting off the screen here, to work with the transform feature. So here is one way of doing your tubestone or fourth axis machining. Now let me just pull up another part here and give it 1 second to close here. And if you guys are doing fourth axis with multiple parts, that Mac-to-Mac transformation is amazing. Works really good. And so if you guys run across something like that, just let me know and we can kind of go through one-on-one on a support call, getting that set up for you guys. And like I said, we will be covering the transformation, I think in a real upcoming class. While that's closing, let's just pull open our class schedule here. Yep, so next week we're going to be covering transformations. So we'll be going over how to use those transformations and how to make that, make them your best friends, kind of like the templates and the process templates.
Yeah, that's awesome, Kevin. I know a lot of the customers that I have are always interested in that kind of stuff where, you know, they might have multiple fixtures or, you know, in this case, obviously a tombstone, and you know, just kind of have that that ability to, you know, you kind of step and repeat, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
so that's very cool.
It's going to help you guys out a ton, just because, like Brandon's saying, you know, you basically just have to program one part, but yet we just machined, you know, 10 parts there. All right, so let me go to SolidCAM Open and have a okay, so right here is another way of doing the, and like I said, I think it was John, is another way to set up your chord sys. Now this is how I would say 90% of the time you're going to set it up on your fourth axis, is you're going to have a Mac 1, position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4. Let me just show you the chord sys. You'll see I just have one initial Mac and with all the positions to go along with it. So I got my first initial Mac and everything's kind of based off of, you know, off that if you want, or you can have it, you know, right off your fixture, but definitely use your Mac 1, position 2, because that's basically telling the machine that we're using a G54, P1, P2, P3, P4, P5, and it's also telling the fourth axis indexer to actually rotate to those angles. So as you're going along, you know, we're using Mac 1, then it's going to rotate over to the Mac 2, which is going to rotate over to the Mac 3, which is going to rotate to the Mac 4. And basically how that's going to look is if we do a simulate here. Let me get this out of the way here. And you'll see that it's basically rotating around there. And then rotate it around again. Now it doesn't show the actual fixture rotating. It just, the tool is going to move around. If you guys wanted to see the actual fixture rotating, that would involve the machine sim. So we can, so that's kind of what it looks like, you know, rotating all the way through for you guys.
Perfect.
Does that kind of answer your question, John? Okay. Yep. Looks good there.
Yeah, it seemed like that covered it, Kevin. I think the next thing we have here is got a question from Ronnie, who's asking. He said he had a problem with taking an STL file to use as a tool body. He said it would look good in the tool window, but would render with the tool upside down. Any ideas? I'm almost wondering if that might be. And Ronnie, please, you know, please feel free to type in a response to that. That almost sounds like a maybe an orientation question for maybe a turning tool.
Yeah, usually with the STL tools. I don't have any STL tools on hand right now, Ronnie. Boy, I'm just trying to think if I got any sent to from my customer. Basically, what you guys want to do is.
Yeah, he said it was. I'm sorry, just Kevin, just to let you know, he said it was a milling application.
Okay.
So
yeah, I don't have any right now, but let me see if I can fumble around and try to get it to look with what we're looking for here. If we go to,
well, you know, like I said, this is Stump the Chump, Kevin.
Yeah, I know.
You have to make yourself look really good here tonight. You know, You're as good as you say you are. You got to show the stuff off, you know? I mean, come on.
Okay, we're going to shape. Yeah, I don't have the, I don't have any STL. I'm going to go to my global. Let me try something else here. This is in metric, so let me try inch part here. And let's do open. And I apologize. Everything's. I was wondering why everything was getting messed up on my SolidCAM, but I did a fresh install as a video for your the YouTube channel, and that's why all my settings have been back to default. All right. I know I have. Of course. All right, so I know this part is done in inch, so let's take a look at our tools here. Yeah, I don't have, sorry Ronnie, I apologize, I don't have any STL tools in here at the moment, so, you know, I apologize Ronnie, and what we could do is just do an offline one with your STL tool.
Yeah, you know, Kevin, I was just going to suggest that maybe, you know, maybe we could just do like a one-on-one, you know, with Ronnie and, you know, kind of walk him through that. But Ronnie did have another question, Kevin. He said back to the MAC positions. Is MAC one on the center line of the fixture, or is it going to be set on a desired location of the part?
Yeah, it's easier. MAC 1 position 1 is always easy to do it on the center line of the rotary table. Now you guys can put that wherever you would like, but since we already know where that center of that rotary table is, you know, by mounting it on there, we know it's exactly, you know, 8 inches up and, you know, where it's located on there. And that's why it's the most common place, because everybody has that basically work offset written down, and then they go from there. But that does not matter. You guys can put those positions wherever you want. So if I, you know, close out of this part, bring open that one that we were just in here, and that's the multi-side here, you'll see that that first one is on center, and like I said, it's just, it doesn't have to be. It knows, you know, everything's getting rotated around on the center. It knows where it is with the part there. If I go to my MAC 2, that one looks pretty close on center of the part. But no, I was just going to try to find one. I thought this one actually had one that was off kilter a little bit, but yeah, I don't have one. But yeah, it doesn't matter where you put the coordinate system. So if we want to, I can move that over to the far left side, and it's still going to know. The only thing is you're going to have to, you know, instead of probing, you know, to do center, like, because like right here we could do a probe, basically a hub to find the center, and then, you know, a distance up, we would just probe, you know, the little point right here and probe this little point right here to find our XYZ 0. So hopefully that answers your question, Ronnie. Saying no, that coordinates can be put wherever you want it to be, and especially on a 5-axis machine, because then we don't have to worry about you know, orientation or anything like that. We can just throw a coordinate basically anywhere. Where if you guys notice, when you guys are creating a coordinate on your MAC 1 and you're doing positions, it knows that it can only rotate a certain amount of degrees. So if it knows that it can't rotate, it will actually automatically pop over to a MAC 2 position, just because it knows that the 4th axis cannot orientate it that way. And that's all defined in your VMID file of your post processor. So.
Perfect, Kevin. One of the other things, and we're actually kind of, you know, kind of straddling that line right now. One of the other questions that Sam had was he kind of wanted to see some code for what it would look like, the output code for like a tombstone, you know, type of thing. Which, if you wouldn't mind showing that a little bit, Kevin, that'd be great.
Generate some G code here.
Perfect.
Okay, so this is, well, What kind of machine do you want to see it on? Is it Sam or John? What machine do you guys want to see it on?
It actually, you know what, Kevin, that's a really good point.
Okay.
You know, I mean, if it's a Fidel, it could be, you know, a different, you know, kind of different looking code. If it's, you know, if it's a regular Fanuc code, if it's a Heidenhain, you know, it's really, you know, there are nuances, obviously, to, you know, to all of these different machines. You know what, Kevin, maybe just show one like on a Haas, like a standard Haas machine, and which is pretty much, you know, standard Fanuc based. I think everybody can kind of glean from that what, you know, what it should look like. So maybe that's probably the best course of action here.
All right, so let's do. Oh, I got some operations that need to be calculated here. Calculate all.
Or if you happen to have a Makino post to completely customize it, if you have one available, Kevin, I'm not sure if you do.
Let me just pull up my settings and make sure I got my post going to the right spot here. See if I have one. Default CNC controller. Okay. Let me see if I got a Makino in there. I've got lots of posts in here from every one of you guys customers. So let's see. Gmail. If you see Makino on the list.
Said, if you don't have a Makino, Kevin, Sam said that you know, a Haas is totally fine. So if you can't find one,
how about an A51?
Well, you're getting pretty specific now there, Kevin. That's pretty good.
This is actually the machine I used to run a lot when at the old machine shop I was at. Okay, so let's just do a calculate all real quick. Yeah, those Makino A51s, they have like, I think it's a half G acceleration. They're pretty fast.
Yeah, they do have some weird, yeah, totally. But they have some kind of unique codes though, don't they?
Yep.
Isn't there some nuances for like, you know, 4 and 5 axis, or the 4th and 5th axis on those?
Yep. Okay, so we got a Makino one right here. You'll see that we're at B0. Let me go farther down and let's just do edit, find, and we'll just say B. So now we're rotating. So you'll see we're using G54.1 P1, and that's kind of standard, you know, using, especially with Makinos, they have just a ton of the secondary offsets there. So we got G51, G54.P.1 P1 or P2, B rotating to the B180 axis. Now we're going back to the 0 using a G54.1 P3. If we go down next, we're going to G54 P4 B90. So, you know, we're starting off at 0, 180, and we're going to 90. So kind of going through it right there. B0 again, staying on the B0, B180. Now, if you guys don't care to see that it's, you know, even though we're staying on the same B axis, if you guys don't want to see it repeat in there, we can take that out of the post for you guys too. So it'll just be, there'll be no repeats going through, you know, up here was B90, 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 then B180. It would just be B90, and then it would come down to B180. So B0, and this, you can see all the different work offsets we're going through here as I do the rotation. So we're on P1, you know, P2, P3, P4, and that's the end of the program. So.
Yeah, you know, and Kevin, that's actually a really good point, because, you know, if you think about, you know, some of those older machines, they have, you know, memory limitations. So, you know, just having, even just taking out whatever it is, you know, just like the,
sure.
You know, the repeated B-axis rotations or line numbers or anything like that, you know, obviously that's perfectly customizable. So yeah, that's a really good point.
Let's show a Haas 4-axis real quick. Should look pretty close, but maybe some things a little bit different, and then we'll go on to the next question here.
Yeah, the next question in line is actually pretty cool. James had asked a question that I think he'll find pretty interesting. So.
Okay, so right here, you know, we're calling up our work offset in a different line. So we're, you know, G154P1, so a little bit different. And then we have our A rotation. So I'll just do find, and we'll do A. So we're at 270 there. G154P1, and it's going to be all G154, P3, P4, and that can go all the way up to, I think Haas can store up to 99. So just a little bit different G code there. And like I said, if you guys aren't seeing, if you guys are having to do hand editing on your G code, definitely let us know right away. We got one of the best post team out there, and they'll get that G code looking the way that you guys want it. So definitely let us know too. But you know, just kind of going through, you know, we're at 270 A. Now with the Haas, you know, we're using the A axis. With the Makino, we're using the B axis, and the Makino is a horizontal, or horizontal, and the Haas is a vertical. So that's why we're getting, instead of A, or instead of B, it's an A. So, all right, what's the next one?
So, so Kevin, this is one that a lot of my customers ask as well, and so if you're going from, say, operation to operation, you know, so you're programming, say, a pocket, and then you've got a drill cycle, or, you know, a contour, you know, whatever it may be.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible to put an M0 program stop?
Oh, absolutely.
While you but while you're still programming, instead of having to put it manually in the G code.
Yep, absolutely. That's real nice feature. Okay, so let's say you guys want to have a M00 underneath your, once your face mill is done, just to stop it, clear out chips, whatever. A couple different ways you guys can do this, and this is something kind of cool. Hopefully I don't spend too much time on it, but so the first one is the easy way. You basically open up the operation you want the M00 to end at, come over to your miscellaneous parameters, and right here where it says B stop M00, just put that to a yes, and we'll just do a save and calculate, and we'll do a G code, and you'll see that we have our M00 right there. So real nice feature. Now let's just go, and let's say that you want to move your machine out of the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to copy that, and we want to put that there, and we should probably move our Z up first so we don't get any little crashy going on. Okay, so that looks all good right there. And what I'm going to do is, let's say you want this to happen every time. Now, by doing that option right there, that's just going to insert the M00 in there. But one other cool thing what we can do is, let me just, where'd my notepad go? Is let me delete everything, paste that, and let's say I just want this G code in there, and I know every time I, you know, if I want an M00 in there, maybe move stuff out of the way, turn coolant off for you guys can put whatever you guys want in here. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a save as. I'm going to put this on my desktop, and we're going to label this as M00, 00 stop. Save that. Now what I can do is, and you guys can save that wherever you want, what I can do is I can come in here and do a file, and we're going to go to the desktop, and we are going to go look for M00 stop, hit open, and it's going to insert that G code in there for you guys. So when you guys go to you know, G code everything out, it's going to have that M00 stop in there with your custom G code that you wanted to add in there. Real nice feature. I wish I would have known about this back when I was using it on a daily basis. But you know, if you guys want to add that in there, you guys can create whatever G code that you guys want, and you guys can just save it and just do a file, and just search for it, and you know, put your stop in there, and it open, and it inserts it in there. So real cool feature to add that in there. So two different ways. Just come in here, go to your miscellaneous parameters, turn your value for M00 stop to yes, or create your own G-code and just insert it in there when it G-codes out.
Perfect.
Trick of the trade.
Perfect. Great, Kevin. Awesome. This next one, I'm not quite sure I'm reading this correctly or maybe just processing it correctly. It says, why when saving as does the CAM part lose connectivity by placing question mark on the geometry when the model is the same model without any changes? Does that, are you?
I'm guessing it's breaking, it's not finding associativity. Who are we talking with here?
That was Ronnie who wrote that question. So Ronnie, we're just trying to maybe get a little bit more information there. Why when saving does the CAM part lose connectivity by placing a question mark on the geometry when the model is the same model without any changes?
So I'm wondering if we go to, if we're getting are you saying like a question mark on your contour, Ronnie?
That's sort of what it seems like. He said by placing question mark on the geometry when the model is the same without any changes.
No, on the geometry. Let's see, geometry. Where am I missing geometry?
Geometry of the CAM part itself, he says.
CAM part. Boy, I'm not sure. CAM part tab. So up here. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to figure out what the CAM part tab. Okay, no, not there. SolidWorks tab.
SolidWorks tab. Okay.
Geometry?
Oh, I think okay. Does it?
Yes.
Okay. So if when saving the CAM part was connected by placing models the same model without any changes, is it? I think he may be referring to if the link is broken between the CAM part and the solid model.
Let's see.
You just said yes, so there could be it could be a file format or a file placement issue, Kevin, maybe? No.
No.
We're working with you, Ron. We're trying. The other thing too, we could also do again, Ronnie and Kevin, we could also he's laughing. We could also take this one offline as well. You know, this could be probably resolved in about 5 minutes with a live GoToMeeting. So
yeah, let's
that might be
Ronnie. Tell you what, hit me up tomorrow and we'll get one-on-one with you. I'm not sure quite what you're getting at with the question mark, but something obviously he's talking about something's changed and it's not updating automatically for him, and that could be due to settings in your SolidCAM settings right here for synchronization. You guys could have it on synchronization on user demand, so nothing will actually pop up. Nothing will pop up until you guys right-click and do a synchronize up here, and that's because it's set to manual mode. To fix that issue, if you guys just come to your SolidCAM settings, come to synchronization and do check synchronization always, and then you guys can do synchronize automatically and calculate after it's been done, and then everything's kind of done automatically for you. So apologize, Ronnie, I'm not sure what we're going for there, but yeah, we'll take that one offline if that doesn't answer the question. But
that again, Kevin, that's a really good point. I mean, obviously, if there's something that needs to be addressed after this meeting or after this presentation, we'll certainly do that. So please feel free to to let us know. Kevin, the next question in line, can a post-processor automatically write subroutines? I get this question a lot, and Kevin, if you don't mind, if I can just kind of jump in. I can jump in real quick. Our out-of-the-box post-processors generally don't support subroutines, but what we actually do have, well, okay, the short answer is yes. We can definitely do subroutines through post-processors. It does require a little bit of extra work and a little bit of customization. So the way that I'll answer this question is, of course we can do it, absolutely. There might be a slight charge to do that. We try to take a different approach with post-processors. We don't want to take the typical CAM overall industry approach to posts and try to extract every single penny that we can from you for just creating a simple post that does subroutines. But there's a small charge. It's typically less than $300 to have that functionality, unless it's a very advanced machine. So, but we absolutely do have the capability. I'm not trying to dance around the subject. We absolutely do have that, and it just kind of depends. If you're talking about a Haas or a Fidel or a Fanuc or something like that. Of course, we can do that very easily. If it's something like a like a Mazak with multi-axis, that kind of thing, then of course it gets a little more complicated. So with that being said, Kevin, I know you had something else to add there.
Nope, that's exactly what I was going to say. You hit it on the hit it on the tee.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so the next question in line was. This one actually sounds really interesting. I'm kind of interested to see how you're going to tackle this one, Kevin. No, it's okay. Can you make an easy explanation of a cycle like you just mentioned about a drill cycle? My B&R controller from my Laguna Swift 3-axis mill router was said to not be able to do drill cycles. However, I can do PEC drilling and create a number of holes on a full sheet. I'm sorry, I can create, I can do a PEC drilling, I can do PEC drilling and create a number of holes on a full sheet of plywood. I was never able to understand what a cycle meant. So it looks as though
well, a cycle.
My P&R controller, my Laguna Swift 3-axis mill router was said not to be able to do drill cycles. So I'm almost wondering. It almost looks like they might not have like a G83 PEC cycle available in their controller.
Definitely.
I'm gonna look up the machine right now.
Let me just open up a part here, and if your machine does not have cycles or does not support the PEC drilling cycle, what we can do is, let's see, let me think of a part here that I can pull up. Actually, you know what, I'll just make one real quick. And there is a way around it.
Oh yeah, I've worked with these before. Let's see here.
Extrude, I'll do 1/2 inch plywood. All right, and if you guys aren't, a quick little SolidWorks tip, if you guys are trying to work on a goofy face and you're not sure, what orientation is, if you guys just click on it and hit your space bar and hit normal too, it will bring it right to that face. All right, we'll just throw a hole in there.
Hey, that's actually very cool, Kevin. I didn't know that at all. No, this is, I mean, honestly, that's very cool. That's a pretty useful feature.
Yeah, it's nice. All right, let's do this on desktop. All right, Tools, SolidCAM, New Milling. All right.
Yeah, what's interesting about this machine, this Laguna machine, Kevin, is it doesn't appear, well, it's got a controller on it, but it looks, and please allow my my forgiveness here, Richard. It looks like the controller is fairly antiquated and may actually not support actual,
pecking cycles.
G cycles in terms of, yeah, exactly, like pecking or that deep pecking and that kind of stuff, or chip breaking cycles. So that could be interesting.
You see what he wrote back?
What's that?
It matches me. We are both ancient.
Well, Richard, I wasn't digging for that, but I appreciate the.
Oh, that's great.
I appreciate the feedback.
Okay, so we are going to do a drilling operation without being able to use the pecking cycle here. It's going to be a little bit cumbersome, but once you have it set up, it's going to be easy for you. So we'll just grab, let's use that 1/4 inch drill, hit OK. All right, so what we're going to do is our upper level is going to be 0. We're just do tip, and let's say we want to do 100 thou pecks. So, yep, so we go right there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 0.1. Now I'm going to do a save and calculate, and I'm going to make a copy, and now I'm going to come to my levels and say 0.2. Now, hold on, don't get worried here, because I know this is going to be a lot of work, but what we're going to do is we're going to create this into a process template. Save and calculate, or save and copy, levels, put this 0.3, and sorry, I forgot to hit save and calculate on the other side. And we'll do,
Kevin,
mm-hmm.
not to interrupt you at all, Kevin. I think really what what Richard is really asking about is what does a cycle really mean?
Oh, okay.
And so, if I may, so a G cycle, Richard, is essentially it's a modal cycle. So when you activate, say, like a G81 or a G83, something like that, it's so. What happens is in the definition of that G cycle, like let's say it's a G83, you have an XY position, a Z depth, an R position, like a return to plane position, and a feed rate. Yeah, that might be helpful, Kevin, to kind of show what a G cycle looks like. And then everything after that, every XY position after that modal G cycle, it means it's going to go to that XY position and execute that G cycle until it's completed, and then move on to the next following XY position. So that's really, I think that's the easiest way to explain it.
Yeah,
I think, Kevin, unless you have something else to add.
Not bad for account manager. Man, you're doing good.
Hey, I had a former life before this. I was an application engineer just like you, so I got into sales because I thought I was going to make more money, and apparently I was wrong. So
yeah. Okay, so what the G code is actually doing here is we're telling the machine we're going into a pecking cycle using a G83. We're going to the location that we specified off of the origin point. So we're 300 and 300, basically 350 thou in the X, and basically 1 inch in the Y, and we're going down to, we're going to peck down to 400 thou deep, and our peck value is going to be a Q of 100 thou, so it's going to go down and peck every 100 thou, and it's going to retract with that R of 100 thou. So it's basically coming down and then coming back up 100 thou, going down, coming back up 100 thou, going down, coming back up at 100 thou. And that's what we're actually doing here, just in this simple cycle right here, is basically everything that I just created here in these 5 operations. So like this one right here, we're going down 100 thou. This one here, we're going down 200 thou. This one, we're going down 300 thou. This one, we're going down 400 thou. So hopefully that kind of makes sense for you. And if not, let me know, or somebody let me know if I need to go into more. Let's see. But yeah, you can definitely go down. I mean, you guys can pick, if you want to go, if you're doing wood or foam, I mean, you can do 500 thou. I don't know how deep your you're going through. But I mean, depending on what you're using, you might not even need to use a PEX cycle with wood, or what kind of cutter you're using. But definitely a little bit easier on a machine when you use the PEX. But that kind of hopefully it answers your question, Richard. That makes sense, Brendan, what I was saying? Uh-oh, did we lose Brendan?
Oh, Kevin, I'm sorry. I had myself muted. I apologize.
No problem.
Sorry about that. So yes, it did seem to answer Richard's question. So it can do it. It isn't doing it in a cycle. It looks like Richard, again, maybe this is an offline thing. Maybe we need to just kind of look at your controller a little bit and see whether, I know that some of those older machines are, you can kind of, as weird as it sounds, you can actually choose whether or not to use a G cycle or not. So maybe we can look a little bit further into the controller and see if maybe there's a parameter setting that that might be changeable in order to take advantage of cycles.
Richard, do you have Eric Middleby's contact information? Kind of heads up the post. No. Okay, so let me.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Let me pull up in my email here. I'm gonna go to the screen here and new email. Oh, here, I'll show it on this screen so you guys can see Eric Middleby. Let me copy that, and let's see, Richard, paste, and I'm going to send this to all, so all of you guys should be able to see Eric's contact information. He is the one that you'll want to contact for post-processors, any changes and stuff like that. So.
Okay. So Kevin, the next one in line is, this is from James again, who was talking about Mac positions.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, the problem that I have had is when I finished the last operation on a Mac position with a certain tool, when I go to the next Mac position and need to use the same tool that I finished on the last one, my G code will not go to the next Mac. It stays on the previous one, and it doesn't recognize that I went to the next Mac. The only way I can get it to work is to add the same tool to a different location on the carousel.
Are we, James, are we talking mill turn machine or milling machine? Do we still have James with us here?
We do. I'm just trying to follow
milling. Okay. Okay. So with the milling, James, yeah, that you shouldn't have to do that at all. What we just need to do is make a post modification. So if you could package that file up and send it off to Eric. And James, let me know if you can see Eric's email address there. But basically, for those of you guys that don't know how to package up, and James, if you don't know how to package things up also, what you can do is just right-click on where it says CAM part and do send to. And if you guys are using Microsoft Outlook, you guys can click on mail. If you guys are using Hotmail, AOL, all those other ones, click on folder and just send us that zip folder. And Eric will, by zipping it up that way, if I do this, it will prompt you sometimes to do for technical support. Always pick technical support. That way Eric will have your post processor, he'll have your machine ID files, he'll have your iMachining databases, your tooling, everything at your fingertips. So that's just a post change, and that definitely should not be happening for you. So we want to get that fixed right away. So like I said, email Eric, and like I said, James, are you able to see Eric's email in the chat area?
Yeah, you know what, and Kevin, if you can't, I'm taking notes here to make sure that that this is all followed up on. So okay. If he can't, I will certainly make sure.
Let me do
You could also put in the chat area as well.
Oh yeah. Let's set that, and what we'll do is in the chat area I will put his. Let me get things moved around here. Okay, and I also put Eric Middleby's contact information into the chat. So if you guys are having any post questions, definitely hit him up. Great guy, and like I said, we have the best post team I've ever seen. So definitely let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of that, Kevin, one more question about how to insert different things as you're programming. So. Yep. We've got John asking a question about how do you customize the comments? And in other words, can you put like a programmer's name in place of compensation where, or like basically just be able to enter that anytime you want to. Can you? Yeah. It's sort of like the M0 question.
Yeah. Up here, you can come up to your operation name and we'll just say Brendan Hart. Save and calculate here. Did I lose it? Yeah. Seems like everything got quiet real quick.
Oh no, I'm here.
Okay. So up here, it's going to show up right in the operation. For those of you that want it up here in the part, what you guys can do is there's going to be a way to modify it where it says Rev 7A. And that's going to be right in here under, I think, machine options, machine settings. We can add that rev number in here. I think it's down in your miscellaneous, your machine parameter list right here. We can add in there, what we could say is have the post team add, program number or programmer, and just have a drop down saying yes or no, and then you can fill out the field right there. Is one way with a post change. But if you guys are just looking, for an operation, you guys can come in here, name it. You can also put naming on your tooling. So if you guys go over to the tool message, you guys can have 5 different fields of messaging right here that you guys can also put in there. Also on the description, you can have something in there also. So a couple different places of that you're able to put different comments in there. Like I said, you got 5 lines in your tool messaging that's going to pop up, and that's can all be added into your post if you're not seeing it already. So like I said, if we open up this one, G-code out, you'll see what it says Brendan's part right at the top for you guys. But if maybe you guys want to see a little bit more information up here on the top instead of part number, part 1, if we wanted to add that miscellaneous parameter in there, that can be up on the top. Or maybe you guys don't care to see the rev number or the date that it was G-coded out. You can change that also. So yes, we can add it in there.
Excellent. Perfect. I think we are approaching 10 o'clock, and it's okay. I mean, if we run long, it's fine. I'm just going back through. The only other thing, Kevin, that I saw, Sam was asking. He said, "Please continue with process template."
Process templates. Okay. Yeah. We got the part.
Yeah. I skipped over that, Sam, and I apologize. I was just trying to get through, kind of what fell in line as the questions came in. But
yeah, only if you guys could see what we're seeing on the question side. We have probably a couple pages worth of you guys right now. So okay, so
all good though. All good.
Absolutely. More the better. So over here, let's say we have these 4 operations. Now these are something that you guys want to do on a regular basis, something that you want to do all the time. Just highlight everything you want, right-click, and do Create Template. And we can do is, we can just say KevCAM testing. And we can do include tool data, so it's going to automatically bring the tool in, feed speeds, step downs, all that for you guys. Hit OK. So now, if I come in here, just do delete. Yep. Yes to all. and now right-click on your operations and add operation from process template, you'll see that the KevCAM testing is right there. We'll use the template name as my operation name, hit OK. Now, basically here is the template. Let me shut down my email real quick here. And basically all it's asking is to define it. So we'll come on here and define our hole, hit the green check mark, hit OK. And all I have to do is come over here and just do a calculate and have all my operations just as it was done before. So that is a process template. Basically, a process template is multiple different operations inside of one template. Now, if you guys are just doing a standard template, and I actually did, Sam, I did a night class on all about templates, so that'd be a good one to watch too. But you know, this one right here, or let's just do a add a milling profile, grab tool, geometry, and hit the green check mark, and we'll just add a tool. And let's say every time you do a profile operation, you want to always rough it, rough it doing a 0.1 step down. And let's say you guys always want to do a normal lead in, or maybe you don't want to lead in at all. So once you've created your operation of like a standard that you want to keep, all you have to do is click save, and we can just label this as, let's do XX. Hit OK. So now what I can do is come up here and do just instead of doing a process template, we're just going to do a standard template, and we can look for our XXX down at the bottom, use template name, hit OK, grab my geometry, hit OK, and now you'll see that it automatically brought in my 100 thou step down, leaving 5 thou on the wall, the finish, and with no lead in or lead out at all. So, and like I said, I went through this in my YouTube channel, Night School Templates right here. So a week ago, this one is that goes over templates, and I go through really thoroughly on how to create templates, how to do process templates, how they can really save you guys a lot of time. So definitely, yeah, Sam, definitely check this out, and you know, I'll copy this and see if I can reply back to him. Paste that and send it. Okay. And definitely, I mean, come in here and there's going to be, I'm trying to add a video each day in here. So just different tips and tricks, stuff that you guys suggest. So like I said, the shape tool was one that got suggested a lot. How to create a SolidCAM support ticket was a big one, so we made a video of that. So anything you guys want, just let me know and we'll add it in here. I mean, it's your guys' CAM software, and we want to make this as easy as possible for you guys. So.
Yeah, you know, and Kevin, with that said, you know, we're very aware, and you know, we're very active in making sure that, you know, that if you guys have suggestions, you know, if there's something, I mean, you know, you guys are the guys that are using this every day and really putting it through its paces. So, you know, if there's something that you think is kind of cool that you'd like to see in the software, or, you know, like product enhancements and things like that, I mean, absolutely, you know, please just, you know, either call us or, you know, send an email to Kevin. You know, Kevin's pretty much the frontline guy in terms of product support. So, you know, tell us what you want to see, and you know, we take that very seriously. You know, we like to consider ourselves, you know, CAM for guys that, you know, like for CAM. You know, all of us, even myself, you know, all of our sales staff, you know, everybody is either a programmer or a machinist or a combination thereof. And in fact, you know, Kevin, as young as Kevin is, you know, he probably has more experience programming in CAM software than I do. So, which is weird for me to say because I'm kind of old. But
yeah, you're like twice the age as me.
No, twice? No, come on, you're pushing it there. Come on, be nice. So, but honest to God, you know, like I said, you know, anything you guys need to see, you know, we're very passionate about what we do, which makes us a little geeky, but, you know, again, this is really, you know, CAM, you know, CAM for the CAM industry, and you know, it's a nice group of people that we work with, and you know, nothing goes unnoticed. So feel free to let us know what you need.
Yeah, absolutely, and we're all of us are dedicated to you guys, so and that's kind of the reason why we started the KevCAM night classes, because we knew that you guys are busy during the day, and we want to help you guys out as much as we can. So we'll stay up late to help you guys, or well, for some of you guys it might be a little bit late, some a little early, but you know, we're here to help you guys out as much as we can. So shoot those suggestions, ideas, whatever you guys have over to me. You know, and we've given out, I think, 3 T-shirts and hats. I didn't get any requests last week, so I don't have any winners for last week. But definitely shoot those ideas over and get you hooked up with a nice hat and T-shirt, and we'll add it to the talking topics. And so far, guys, for those of you guys who weren't here last week, we are doing KevCAM classes all the way up to the first of the year. I have classes scheduled that far out. So anything that you guys can think of, definitely shoot it over to me, and we'll be adding it in there. So we were kind of running a little bit short on ideas, and you guys have shot over some ideas for us. So definitely get those over to us, and we'll add them in there. But
you know, and you know, again, you just to wrap this up real quick, Kevin. This was really a good format. I like this. I like the fact that you know it's sort of an open format. People can ask whatever questions they want. You know. It's a good way to you know to kind of maybe just you know dive into some stuff and see what the you know kind of the you know the real world problems are you know with that people are having. So yeah, I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this a lot, and I appreciate all the feedback that we got from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely, it was great. And like I said before, the tell a friend. Make sure you guys say it's the KevCAM. You want the KevCAM special, so you get your double value there. So I know it's been working great for a couple of you guys. So definitely take advantage of. I was able to
tell him Kev sent you.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. I was able to get our CEO of the company to double it to you know just for listening to. Me blabble on through the middle of the night for you guys when you could be doing something else. So he upped the value for you guys. So like I said, take advantage of it. And but with that being said, thanks again. Thanks a ton for taking the time out of your night to be in the class here. And you know, have a wonderful night, guys. And we'll see you guys next Wednesday night. All right.
Excellent.
Great night.
Take care.
Bye-bye.